Okay, this follower asked a great question. I can't believe I haven't answered this before. I have kinda, but not in detail. So let's go through it. This video is going to take a minute, but if you want to know what you can do with your health, medicine-wise, you're going to want to stay and listen to the very end and check this out. Here we go. These are the meds I took every single day. January 1, 2022, 303 pounds. God knows what my body fat percentage was, but I was sick and dying. November 21, in the hospital, down 4 pints of blood. My life was ending. AFib, A-flutter, 40% block in my left ventricle that I was born with that popped up when I was 38 years out of nowhere. I was a mess and I was dying. Took my life back. We all know how I did it. Went for a walk, carnivore diet, ultimately ended up pushing some weights around. Never felt better in my life as I'm coming up on 55 years old in 5 weeks. Here we go. Baclofen. Broke my back when I was 19 years old. I've had 17 procedures done on my back. Been addicted to opioids 3 times. A nightmare. This is a drug that is a pain med that works specifically on the spine. I was taking 3 of those a day. By the middle of the year, this is by May or June, 0. I don't take that drug anymore. This one here is a blood thinner. Eliquis, absolutely I take it. Again, with that block, you take a medicine to thin your blood to make it a little bit easier to pump. I've felt no ill effects from taking a blood thinner. I've been taking it for years. The difference is, instead of 2, I take 1. So I got that down. Here we got the same drug. This is diltiazem. This is, again, a blood pressure med, help to regulate the heartbeat and regulate the blood pressure. This one here is 120 milligrams. This one here is 240 milligrams. I would take both. All of this, every single day, I would take both. Middle of the year last year, I went from taking the 240 and the 120 to just taking 240. 6 months later, at the end of last year, I went from taking 240 to 120. I cut it by a third, and with no ill effects. My heart's never felt better. Over here, we've got metoprolol. Metoprolol is a drug specifically that I use to slow down my heart rate, period. When you have a block in your heart like I do, in the muscle, it's about 72, 73 beats a minute is what it was. We wanted to slow that down maybe 10 or 12 beats a minute just to make it harder, or make it easier for the blood to pump, make it easier for the work to be done by the heart. When you factor in also thinning the blood, all of those things just help extend the life of my heart, if you will. I was taking 150 milligrams of this every day, and 6 months into last year, it went to 100 milligrams. And at the end of last year, it went to 50 milligrams. And here about 2 months ago, 25 milligrams. 2 months ago, I go into the hospital at 50 milligrams. My heart was beating 48 beats a minute. The doc's like, Jerry, what are you doing? I didn't know. But 48 beats a minute is nowhere near what it needs to be. Cut the med down again, like you just saw, in half. All of a sudden, here I am, strong, at about 60 beats a minute, right where I need to be. This one here is a statin. This is a cholesterol drug. Gone. I don't take it anymore. I ain't touching it. I wouldn't touch a statin now. Learning what I have from last year to this year, I would never take one for my cholesterol. My cholesterol's never been better. What do I eat? Protein and fat. Gone. This one here, terazosin. We all know I got kidney stones. I've done lots of videos on it. Got to keep the waterworks, keep everything moving the way it's supposed to. Happy to take that med right here. Here's the biggest one. Right here, this is a drug called amiodarone. These are 100 milligrams, 400 milligrams every single day of amiodarone. Amiodarone is a drug because I have AFib. Sometimes my heart would beat 150 beats a minute for 4 or 5 days. Into the hospital I'd go. 2017, I was cardioverted. Clear 6 times. I was in the hospital, hospitalized 17 times. I've had more issues with AFib and A-flutter over the last 5 or 6 years than I can count. I've probably been in the hospital 30 times for it. This drug is the only drug that'll slow my heart down. The problem is, amiodarone eats your liver. It's a drug for older folks, 70s and 80s years old, who aren't going to be on the drug forever and who don't have the heart that is strong as mine is. But it's the only one would work. When I would go into the emergency room, while I was taking this, they would give it to me intravenously also, and that would ultimately be what would put my heart back into a normal sinus rhythm. This drug was critical for me, and we couldn't figure out a way to get me off of it. 6 months after going on the carnivore diet and going for a walk and losing about 60 pounds, I cut it in half, 200 milligrams. 6 months later, the first of this year, I cut it again, 100 milligrams. Down to 100 milligrams of this drug that was slowly eating my liver but keeping me alive by controlling my heart rate. And about 6 months ago, Snatch, 0. I take none. None. No ill effects. Y'all see me out running half marathons. You see me exercising. You see me walking my 4 miles every day. Crazy. I take none. So check it out. Here we go. All of these gone. This mess, 19 pills. This is what I took every single day, mostly for my heart. Now, 4 pills. 1 to help with my heart, happy to. 1 to thin my blood, happy to. 1 to help control my heart rate down to about 62 beats a minute, happy to. 1 to make sure I can pee. Boom. That, my friends, is what losing weight, going to the gym, going for a walk, and I think, and the people are going to argue with me, I think the carnivore diet, metabolically what it's done for me in my life, getting me off pain meds relative to my back, all the way through helping control my heart, helping control my weight, helping me put on muscle, across the board has changed my life. One more time, look at this. This is what I've done myself. No medicine, no doctors, no nothing, on my own. Opportunities are everywhere. I went and got mine. Go get yours. Go for a walk.